It's early in the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm, let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to Maga Minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things, front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hum Day News, we keep it real with down home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth, and when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks talking southern things, stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand?
Good Tuesday evening, everybody. Howdy, Dave. Steve.
How's it going, man?
Good. Great.
Hope you gentlemen have had a good day. We just all popped in here tonight, just to hang out and make fun of stupid people.
Right.
Which I might have to start right here with me. So, yeah, we were talking this morning, and we decided to come on live now. We got Steve at Half Pine Forge, and we'll kick it off by saying, hey, our promo code is active for Patriot Mobile. We verified that today. They don't have our landing page and all that ready yet. They said next week, but the promo code is ready. So if you're looking for a good phone deal with a patriotic company and help the Southern Fried at the same time, use the promo code Cornbread. So big news for us. Websites, no news on that yet, but just to update some folks who might come in and watch this tonight or coming up. Steve, what's going on in the Half Pine world? What do you got cooking this week?
Oh, a whole bunch of chores. That forge has been cold for days, just because I'm trying to keep up with things around the house. You know how it is.
Yeah. Hey, I thought about you today. I seen a guy at work, and he had on the Appalachian blacksmith shirt. And I said, hey, didn't know he was involved. He said, yeah, I've been working at it. I made a few things. I said, well, I went up to that one at the Chattanooga or the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. He goes, yeah, that's the one that I joined. He goes, if there wasn't that one, he says it's over 200 miles away from Chattanooga. You got to go to get into some sort of blacksmith club. So he's sort of just like you talked about, Steve, starting out small, learning some things, getting the skills. He does have a small forge, a propane fired, and an anvil, and he's learning how to make those tools. You know, that's what blacksmiths do.
Wait, you mean he's got an easy bake too?
His might not be called an easy bake.
Oh.
Nobody asked you, Rob. Stop it.
But we're blessed not only call Steve a fellow podcaster and a cool blacksmith, the coolest blacksmith we know. We don't really know any other blacksmith, but he's the coolest one we know. But he's also a friend of the program, and anytime we can have him on, there's always a seat for him. So thanks for coming on, man. I know you got to be tired after working all day, and it gets, there's a lot going on in our lives. There's a lot going on in my life. Rob, you got a good day?
Yeah, I've been working out there at the garden out there. I'm gonna get some pictures up. Uh, I'll put them up tomorrow. But yeah, garden's coming along nicely.
Good deal. Good deal. This morning we were Steve had popped in and we just were talking. I don't even know what brought it up. I done forgot now. Kind of slept since then. I didn't sleep good last night. Anyway, we brought it up about the Tanya Harding case,
Yes.
and I'm gonna roll through some pictures in a minute, and we just want to go down memory lane. And but really, the whole gist of it is people who thought it was a good idea to commit the crime they committed, but they were bumbling fools, and these folks have to fall into that category. I mean, on one of the biggest stages, in sports competition is getting ready for the Olympics, no matter what the sport is. Ice skating has always brought a lot of people out. And you had the backdrop of really the championships, I think, that happened a few years before that. And there was this huge competition between Harding and Kerrigan. And Harding early on had taken it to her pretty good because, and I had forgotten this, but she was the first one to do the triple axis or whatever. And so she was kind of flying high. Kerrigan was they had both finished on the stand at the 91 championships in Minneapolis. And I didn't remember this, guys, but this attack, I had forgotten all about this. Of all places that happened was Cabo Hall in Detroit. Of course, I can't even begin to think about that place without thinking about Kiss and Detroit Rock City and all this stuff. And it's just crazy that's where it was at. I thought it was like New York or something. I honestly did not remember that. But, there's a competition brings out sometimes the real bad in people. And that's what happened with this. So I wanted to just roll through these and we can go about memory lane. Of course, this was happy.
How dumb do you have to be to attack somebody at the skating event?
I know, it's like, can we not wait until like they're at the hotel or the store? I mean, right there. Here's the booking photo of her, happier time, and then the booking photo. She was denied involvement. Here are some real winners right here, guys. I mean, Eckert and Galuli and what was the other guy? Shane Bent or something. I can't remember. Just a real bunch of winners. There they are. Oh, that looks like some smart guys right there, don't it? I mean, really. If you had to, if you had to guess what career these guys were in, and they were, all you knew was they were standing there. You didn't know what they were standing there for. What in the world would you think that these guys did for a living?
Burdens of the state, I would guess.
Maybe they worked at Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
I mean, well, I don't know. Have you guys ever seen Stir Crazy?
Yes.
That guy on the left with that windbreaker on?
Oh, yeah.
That not look like Grossberger?
It does.
Oh, man, it does.
If he was bald tan, that would be Grossberger.
Yeah.
And the guy in the middle kind of looks like one of the guys off of L.A. The Law.
Oh, he looks okay. Here's another little deep cut. I don't even know the guy's name. I know. I'll tell you exactly who he looks like. I just got to look the guy up.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Larry Hankin. Larry.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is that the guy you were talking about?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks exactly like it. He played the again, I don't know if you've seen Money Talks with Chris Tucker and
yes,
Charlie Sheen or one of the Sheens. He plays Chris Tucker's friend he's like a janitor or something, works at the stadium.
On the end, kind of looks like Ned Beatty in Deliverance.
The third guy I can't really see because he's behind the QR code.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's hiding his face. Sorry
I'm
about
just
that.
saying. I'm just assuming here.
I don't think we're missing much.
The famous picture, she broke her lace. They did let her change it out, but it didn't. It didn't amount to anything. But they did let her do that.
There's a pretty smile.
Post career, she was not a good boxer, brawler, whatever.
Got it.
There they are together. A couple other pictures. There's some headlines. Why me? That was pretty famous. Why me? And they said,
a lot of people were giving her some guff over that. The whole why, how so dramatic. First off,
yeah,
kneecapped with a billy club like that would hurt. Like,
yes.
Thinking about the pain. Not only that, but if you get a knee injury, I only know this because of like documentaries and stuff. I don't know. I know absolutely nothing about figure skating. Rob, don't even start with me. He's in the chat too, so that goes for you too.
If you know a thing or two
like that at all, it's like they don't even think about it. They know right away, instinctually, that is a career ender. They are done.
Yeah.
And when you work that hard for that long to be at such an elite level at something, and somebody ends your career with just one swipe of a club, I'd be rolling around screaming why too.
Well, can you imagine being anywhere, not even on the world stage? You're just out the local store and some knucklehead pulls out the club and takes you down at the I don't know, the 7-Eleven, the Walmart or whatever. And you're like, what the heck? I mean, and it's like it's like Dalton said in Roadhouse. I mean, you take out their knee, I mean, they're done. I mean, you just don't function if your knee's done. I mean, they're going.
I think Sam Elliott said that best when he pulled his hair up out of his eyes and went, "Dang, that hurts, don't it?"
No doubt, man, no doubt. But yeah, I was just looking at some of these the bozos. I mean, just So I'll pull this back down. But the timeline, it was on January the 6th, 1994.
You didn't have to say the year. You could tell just from the hairdos.
Yeah. Look at that big hair. Come on.
Those of us who didn't know the story, we knew just from the windbreaker and the hair.
And probably the bigger idiot here is probably Gillooly, because even though they were in on it together, he's the one that hired these buffoons. I mean, he went out and hired Stant, who clubs the knee, and of course the cameras were all over it, like you said, Rob. I mean, who does it there? I mean, at that place. Well, Harding won the gold for winning that program on the 8th. So she pumps her fist. She's won, The first one to squeal, there's always a squealer, was Eckert on the 12th. So this happened on the 6th. 6 days later, the FBI cracked Fat Boy. And he said that.
Boy.
Peter would have rolled for a bag of donut holes. Did you see that?
It's always the fat guy. He can holes or pizza.
That dude regularly bites the fork on accident.
He incriminates Stant, Gillooly, and Smith, who was the driver of the getaway car. I mean, they must have thought they were really smart. They got hitmen, they got the planner, they got the getaway driver, So on the 14th, 2 days later after that, Kerrigan holds the press conference. And this whole time, Harding is denying that she had any involvement. On the 27th, Gillooly, the old man, he confesses. But of course, he squealed and blamed everybody, including her. And he got a lighter sentence. for doing this, he testified against Harding and pleads guilty to the crime of racketeering. Days later, here's where the dumbness truly gets deeper. Now, this is on the 20th, on February 1st. On February 1st, these idiots who are trying to, get away from the FBI and everything else, they go through their trash. And in the, this is Gillooly and Harding's trash. Now, she's denied she's got anything to do with it. They found notes that had Kerrigan's practice schedule on it.
Yeah.
And a handwriting expert confirmed that the notes were written by, yes, Harding. All those days later, you got the crap in your trash? My God. I mean, don't we watch enough LA Law and all them
CSI.
shows, CSI?
Well,
I know they didn't have that back then, but they still had cop shows. I mean, don't you know they go through your trash? I mean, don't people realize that crap?
They just back then all they had was cops, literally just cops. That
Well,
was-
oh no. Did you not ever see the Rockford Files?
oh,
Yeah. He went through the trash.
rather.
I think Tom Selleck did it in Magnum PI as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
On February 17th, fortunately, all Kerrigan, she had bruises. I mean, my God, she got hit with a club on the knee. But on the 17th, she couldn't, go for the gold. But on the 17th, they were on the ice together. Kerrigan wears the same outfit that she wore when she was hit. And then later tells the press, humor is good, it's empowering. On the 25th is when the shoelace breaks. And she's crying and everything. They let her change it. A lot of people called it karma. That same day, Kerrigan won the silver. Through all of that, Kerrigan did get the gold. It went to, y'all remember? Oksana Baul, the young Ukrainian. We can pull a Ukrainian of this story. The young Ukrainian Diva Dawn. Is that for Stevie Boy? Because you're killing me.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. There isn't a man who does not watch women's figure skating.
That's fair. Because
We will pause right there.
both of those women, all the boohoo crying and all that stuff, all the unattractive moments.
Yeah,
They are both some very.
we paused. We still do.
They're
If we see it on TV, we're going to pause.
well, yeah.
And if a female says anything to us, we're like, oh, it's art.
Yeah.
Look at the way they're looking. Can you believe that they did that? Look how beautiful her form is. Oh yeah, we instantly become experts in figure skating.
Yeah, and the first time they do one of those mid-air split thingies, it's like there's no saving that letter from the mailbox to wedge it for the rest of it.
Yeah, it's not that we noticed that. We're in it for the
Oh,
art.
I always think about, golly, I wish I could help that young lady.
Yeah, I wish I could just pull it out.
Like pluck it like a banjo string. Just bow.
Barrel. Yeah. Okay. And Diva, don't try to convince us that you don't watch men's figure skating. Those little tight outfits they wear.
Those guys aren't straight though. Why would they watch that?
The only straight one I've ever seen was DJ Sweeney in The Cutting Edge.
It's not ringing.
Have you not ever seen that? Hockey player turns figure skater.
I don't think
It was
I've seen that.
hilarious. It was hilarious.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
Was there something about the toe pick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because figure skater skates are different than hockey skates. They have
Right.
that toe pick so they can stop and spin. Hockey players don't have that. And he kept tripping over it. And every time he did, he'd go face first plant, just slide, and she'd go.
Go slide. Okay. I remember that scene now.
I mean, it's just a whole scene of him sliding across the ice and her going, toe pick.
I think that's the only scene I remember, but yeah,
That was hilarious. That one scene made the movie worth watching. Toe pick.
It was the only part of the movie that was worth watching. watch.
I'll give you that, but that was funny. Okay.
I'd rather watch.
So I watched it because of the same reason you do, because she was beautiful and
Well, they're basically wearing bathing suits with a
skirt, mini skirt.
I wouldn't even call it a skirt. It's a friggin' tutu or something, like a little flappy little bit.
Lingerie for real.
If there's like that much fabric going on, it's not covering nothing. It's there for decoration.
Talking about this just reminded me, Rob, there was a guy that I worked with who's my partner on the heat set, and this subject came up about ladies figure skating. It was probably around the Olympics or something. And he just couldn't help himself. So the guy goes, "Oh, I just love to watch the figure skating, them little tight clothes and everything." And dude lays out in like a perfect form, like a skater would, with his leg all up behind him and his arms out like he's posing. And all the guys are sitting there looking at him, and he looks back, and we're all like, "Dude, I mean, you really not into that?" And he's like, "Oh, shut up. You know you all act like that at home." We're like, "Oh, no, we don't."
Not even a little bit. Not even on double coupon Sundays.
No.
I won't say his
I
name. Too many people could be watching this, but I won't say his name. But boy, did we rim him and gave him a hard time. The last two notes about it was when she didn't win, this is where she caught the flack, Kerrigan. Not only did she catch the club, she caught the flack because when Oksana was going out to get her award, she said, "Oh, come on, she's going to get out there and cry again." What's the difference, Kerrigan said, not knowing the cameras were rolling. On March 16th, to kind of end that part of it, Harding pleads guilty with evidence mounting against her and everybody squealing on her too. She officially pleads guilty to a charge of conspiracy to hinder prosecution. She receives 3 years probation and is given a $160,000 fine. She's the only one involved, obviously with the exception of Kerrigan, who didn't go to jail. So she never went to jail for it. The others did. But what a bunch of dummies. I mean, wow. I mean, as you're counting down the day, like you're getting her schedule, I mean, and do you really need to know much of a schedule at the arena? I mean, other than when she's a practice time, I guess.
Well, that's
and
what
you hire this buffoon. Yeah. But you hire this buffoon. Well, your buffoonish husband hires buffoons to carry out this mastermind attack. And I wonder what his getaway plan was. Like, I'm going to bash the knee of an Olympic hopeful. I probably would win it. I mean, would be top two. I'm going to bash her knee right here in the back, and I'm going to get away. I mean, did he even think it out that far? Like, did he think I could go to Canada? Did he think, I'm going to go hide in the woods? I mean, what was this buffoon's thought process to think I could do this?
Well, to be fair, he did get away at first.
Well,
I mean, he was winging it. He was just going with the flow and making it up as he went along. It was just improv.
If it hadn't been for those silly donut holes, he would have gotten away with it too.
What I didn't see in the story is how much that they were promised for this crime.
I'd like to see his defense in the courtroom. Mongo only pawn in Game of Life.
I bet it wasn't a monetary amount.
I think he got paid? Question mark? I don't know.
I bet it wasn't a monetary amount that they got offered.
By the way, that was a collapsible baton that he hit her leg with.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Police, you hit like the police baton. So, it was 21 inches long. I'm assuming fully extended. Which those are pretty heavy. I mean, they can.
Those are stout, dude.
They are stout. I mean, you can take somebody out pretty quick, sweeping out at their legs. They'll go down. they'll go down. But along with that, I looked up a few dumb criminals, and if y'all have some, I would like. There was a couple that I wanted. That these guys were dumb, but there is dumber. There is some dumb, really dumb guys, and there was one that I wanted to. Let's see. Joey Miller and Matthew McNally. They decided not to use hoods, masks, or baklavas to do their crime. They decided that they were going to draw on their face with permanent marker. So even though it was nobody could tell who they were when they did the crime, it didn't take the police long to find these guys because they didn't get all the permanent marker out. And that's how they found them.
All I could think of is every guy has slept over at, like, you know, a friend's house or something in his teenage years, or you know, dorm rooms or whatever. Almost every guy has been like the first to pass out at a party. So we all know what gets drawn on the cheek of the guy that passes out first.
Yeah.
That's what I have in my head.
Or across the forehead here.
We had, I shouldn't tell this story, but we had this guy that passed out. He was the first one. So they did the various things to him. One of the things they did was they took Scotch tape and they taped his eyelids shut. They drew on his face. That's a given. With one of his hands, they put shaving cream all in his hand. It was laid open. It was laid out like his arm was just stretched out. So they filled it with shaving cream. They took his other hand and unzipped his pants and put it in his pants and zipped it up real tight so he couldn't easily pull his hand out. And then they used a feather to tickle his nose. So the guy can't open his eyes. He's trying to pull his arm out, which is not working, while he's still half asleep. He brings his other hand up, trying to figure out what's at his nose. He wipes this shaving cream all across his face, and then he has to peel the Scotch, which I thought was the worst thing. And by the way, I didn't do it, okay? I was there, and I was guilty because of the implication of being there, but I didn't do none of it. I told them they were being rough. They peeled off he peeled off the Scotch tape, which took with it some eyelashes. As he's doing this, and so he wakes up, his hand is still trapped in his pants. So he's got the tape out off his eyes. He's looking at that. He sees the shaving cream in his hand, and he's trying to figure out what's on his face, which is the shaving cream. And then he looks down and sees his pants. And he said, "What did I miss?"
I was trying to think back some of the stuff we pulled the service when people passed out. Like, one of our favorite things to do is to get warm water and just pour it in their crotch and walk away.
You guys out the middleman of that whole prank, didn't you?
Oh,
he peed his pants, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the milder things. I'm not going to get into the other stuff that we did because this is a family show.
I was
most of the time.
I was that guy one night, and they decided to doodle all over my face, and he started off by drawing eyes on my eyelids. And he told me that his biggest regret of the night was not doing that last. He said, because you have any idea how awkward it is to draw on someone's face as a prank when it looks like they're staring at you?
Another good one was duct tape on the eyebrows. Not Scotch tape.
Ooh. Bye-bye.
That was a good one.
That's a good way to Mona Lisa somebody pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause when they rip it off, those eyebrows are coming to, well, most of them.
Now the eyelash thing, apparently that's a bit of a trend set right there, because I guess that's the new thing is men are having barbers trim their eyelashes down to nothing. So they're just like they're pushing it down and then with the clippers to get rid of them completely to look more masculine. And I got to be honest, I don't think there's anything I can think of that's more feminine than
No.
saying out loud the words, I'm going to go get my eyelashes done.
Hey, it would be more manly to say, hey, take that trimmer, run around my nostril or inside my ear or something. That would make sense. Or my Gandalf eyebrows, you know. I don't know.
But you should have the Gandalf eyebrows, man. Once you get past 50 and those they start Eugene Levying up.
Yeah.
No. Not only let them go, but comb them in a fun way. Like that guy from
Yeah,
Glad.
I'm not letting them go. I'm not going to have Gandalf eyebrows. I'm not doing it. I'm
No.
way too sexy for that. Well, you said after 50.
You'd be standing there and Rob.
Huh?
Be so for real right now.
Not very nice. You remember you got a package.
You already said it. What are you gonna do? Fly up here?
Oh, if I have to. Oh my gosh. I wish I could be there when you opened it.
Well, I'll hang on to it until I can make it to one of the shows.
But you know, it would be the look of joy on your face is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure joy is gonna be one of the emotions that I feel. I'm sure. From all the giggling and stuff, I'm sure it'll be joy.
Dave, I got him something really nice. You'll approve.
I think she might be a little bit delayed. I think the Rumble app did to her what it usually does to me. Because you know how you tap the screen to wake up the controls and you can like go back 10 seconds or forward 10 seconds or play or pause, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to get that left, the bottom left corner, Rumble player. It'll show a little live button, and if it's gray, then you're not live. But if you push the button, it'll zip you straight to the. I learned that one the hard way a few of those times early in the morning on your shows. I'll type something out real quick and send it out, and then you guys aren't saying anything for like 10 minutes. I'm like, what's going on? Like, they're not replying to it. What? Hey, man.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to bail on you. It's time to get something to eat.
That's cool. We're not going to be on here long. I just
I'm sorry. I hadn't eaten all afternoon and my sugar's bottoming and I'm ready to do it. So, hey, y'all have a great day and I will see everybody tomorrow morning. Steve, great to see you tonight. You too, Dave. See you soon. Salute. Night, y'all.
See you, man. Oh man.
As far as bonehead moves, I wasn't thinking, I wasn't in the gear of criminals, but there is one that I always loved. I don't know if you know Pol Pot was, right?
Yeah.
Well, for those who are watching might not know, Pol Pot was the dictator of Cambodia, circa the 70s, I believe.
Yeah.
60s, I think. I know he was friends with Mao Zedong. But yeah, Pol Pot, of course, having that wonderful communist utopia that he was chasing all the time, he had thrown everybody out of the cities out into the countryside to become farmers. Because I guess you could just be a farmer by will alone.
Yeah.
And so he was facing a famine because all of the party leaders that reported up the chain how much their crops were yielding, they were fudging the numbers to make themselves look better. So the guys at the tippy top thought they were at a surplus, And so they were selling off the surplus to other countries for weaponry and, blah, blah, blah. Little did they know that they were underperforming in every metric. So not only were they getting rid of everything, half of what they had, or what they were reporting, turned out that was more like 3/4 of everything they had in actuality. And so there was
wow.
Well, you can't throw up your hands and say, "Oh, we found a problem in our communist utopia." No, you have to save face. So, Pol Pot, being the genius he thought he was, he had to blame something. So he went, "Oh, I know, it's the birds. The birds are causing this. They're messing up all the crops. We need to get rid of these birds." And so he ordered that the entire country, the whole country, was all going after these birds. They would go out in the fields banging pots and pans if they saw birds start to land. 24/7, they're running around chasing these birds off, and the birds would just drop from the sky from exhaustion. Now, Dave, what do birds eat?
Well, I mean, they like worms and stuff like that.
They like locusts.
They do like that.
So to avoid admitting that you created a man-made famine, they created a biblical level famine with locusts. And the famine got even worse from that. So bonehead move number 1. That one's for the books.
Wow. I worked with a friend, a coworker. He came out of the Pol Pot. His family got out except for his dad. He figures his dad was killed.
Oh.
But he sadly passed away with cancer a few years ago.
Ooh.
But his brother trained with Bruce Lee at one of his studios back when Bruce Lee had, and you're probably right, it probably was the 60s, because the 60s is when, early 60s is when Bruce Lee had the studios before he got to be a star. Probably even late 50s, I don't remember, but I know it in the early 60s. So his brother, who worked for Bruce Lee, trained him. And this guy was super nice, just a nice guy. I mean, always respectful. He became a Christian. He told me a lot about the trip and everything. But the funniest story that I remember, this guy's like, I mean, he probably didn't weigh but about 110 pounds, maybe 20. Slender, but fast as lightning, man. And they went to a popular bar, him and this other friend of mine here in Chattanooga. And there was these 5 Bubbas, we'll call them, who wanted to jump on him because he was, obviously not from here in their minds. So they started calling him a name I won't repeat. You don't take much to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they were drunk and they wanted to pick a fight with him. So my buddy tells me, he said it was 2 on 5. He said, dude, he said, before I could even move to help him, he has laid all these 5 guys out. He was so fast. He said his feet were like a blur. And I saw that in motion once. And he had slowed down some. He'd gotten older when I saw it. And I'm telling you, he put his foot within, I felt the air off of his toe by my nose, and I don't remember it coming. It just was there and gone. And he said, "Oh, I've slowed down." So these guys had surrounded him. He went a circle and did like, roundhouse. I mean, just kicked them all in the face, and then that stunned them, and then he just took them down one by one. And they never moved. I mean, they're like drunk, and they got their arms and fists up. He lays them out. He puts them in the car, their car, and he says, "Hey, you guys have a good ride home now. Be safe." And he said, I don't think those guys ever knew what happened. They got hit so fast and so hard. But that guy was a great guy. But his family came out of the Pol Pot regime, which was horrible. I had not heard that story, Steve. I didn't know that. I did not know that story.
So what you're saying though is that everybody was kung fu fighting?
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yes.
Cats were fast as lightning.
I would have loved to have seen it.
Come on, when do I get the opportunity to use that joke?
Exactly, Steve. Sweet Scorpio, is this one of your folks you know that are saying, hey?
That one does not belong to me.
You're not blaming us. Well, hey, Sweet Scorpio. I'm Dave. This is Steve at Half Pine Forge, and we're just chatting about dumb people and dumb criminals, and just looking for laughs and just having a fun time on a Tuesday afternoon. I hope your week is going well. And I did want to roll back up there, and Diva Dawn said that you might be developmentally delayed.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I got you. Thank you. Yeah, okay.
She's delayed anyway. It's still a delay. It's just not a technical delay. Delayed because she's holding grudges until she stops again, until she has time to type it out.
She's sitting, plotting the next takedown.
Who holds on to a trolling line until she's at a stoplight? Diva Dawn.
Diva Dawn, yeah. Oh, I've got it. Oh, I got to wait till the next slide.
Best troll money can buy.
I had he's still living. We just hadn't seen each other a long time. He was from the north, but he went to Bible school in Jacksonville, Florida. And so he was street preaching down there, and he picked a very busy, people that was from there would know what he said. I don't know the intersection, very busy. And he would preach from there, and I asked him, I said, how long was your sermon? He said, he said, it was like 1 minute and not quite 2 minutes. It was just under 2 minutes. And I said, why that long? He said, that's how long the light would stay red on the corner that I was. It was a big intersection, so it took time for it all to cycle through. He said, so for about 2 minutes, I had folks there that I could preach to. He said, then they would leave, the next cars would pull up, and he said I would start the same one again because they haven't heard it. So he just repeated it. But I said, well, did they listen to the whole thing? He said, well, most people after about 10 seconds, maybe 15, started rolling their windows up. I mean, you know.
I mean, you're gonna get the occasional, atheist.
Yeah, but he did reach some people, so I thought that was cool. But he had it down to a science how long that was going to be. I did want to ask you, among other things we can just mention while we're on, are you doing a live Friday night back in your Half Pine Forge Live?
I want to, because I have an idea. I'm basically gonna. Well, okay. So the last live that I did, it only lasted an hour before it went up in flames. 45 minutes, somewhere around there. And so I have to. I want to just start over from scratch on that one. And
Okay.
that one was a little important to me too, because that was an idea I've been waiting to try for a while. I was gonna make my how YouTube gives out the play buttons. I was going to make my very own Rumble play button for my 100 followers on my primary channel, just for the heck of it,
Oh, cool.
I-
Nice.
So far into it, I just basically bent a piece of round stock into a triangle, and I did a forge weld on the seam, but I had a little bit of a crack. I didn't quite get everything measured out perfectly, which is kind of impossible to do in this regard. So I just took it over and stuck it on the wire feed welder, and I was going to fill in the cracks. I replayed it back because when I took my helmet off, I looked at my laptop and it was the Rumble logo. It had said that I was disconnected. So I played it back, and it was right when I put my welding hood on that it just, and I tried bringing it back.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I was watching,
Yeah, I want to redo.
but I had stepped away. I was doing some other stuff. And I think I saw you get it to the triangle. I don't think I saw the where you were little well. And when I came back, it was down. And I thought, oh, he must have just did a quick live. He wasn't on, but it was about an hour, a little over an hour.
I thought it was a little under an hour. I thought it was about 50-ish minutes.
It might have been.
Somewhere around. But I deleting everything because it's like, well, why even keep that? Like, I'll start all over from scratch another time. If I do a live, it's going to be a pain to try to fish that cable all the way through because I gotta hope that there's space in the pipe to get it out there.
Yeah.
If
so
not,
with your lives, what has we know the problem. What's worked well though that you think, man, this is pretty cool. Like this is okay.
The fact that I'm making a lot more money than I was on ad revenue.
Got you.
I think my first 2 lives, even after Rumble took their cut, which is like a whopping 20% or something like that. After the first 2 lives, I had already like doubled the money I made from ad revenue. Not that it's a lot. I think I'm at like $20 total now.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see the concentration so much higher, you know.
Yeah.
And to scale that, nice. And it's, it is fun. Sometimes I get a couple of people bantering back and forth in the chat, and so that makes it more fun. It gets a little dull when it's, just me and like one lurker that's not saying anything. It's like I got nobody to bounce off of, nobody to, feed into the entertainment value of the show.
Yeah, that's the thing. When because I do have Rob we do about half and half. It might be a little more than half that I do with him. I haven't counted, but I do a lot of shows that that's just me. And you do get that interaction when you're doing those together. Now you do get it from the chat, but he broke Rumble. She said,
I don't know about that.
Get down.
I'm pretty sure Steven Crowder's the only one that broke Rumble so far.
Oh yeah.
And he's Rumble now. He bailed on YouTube entirely starting Monday.
Oh wow.
Good for him, honestly.
Yeah. So I mean, but I do like it, and some people they're so big with their chats that obviously they have mods and they just can't talk to everybody because they're pumping so fast. It would be impossible to do that. You couldn't have a show. And the mods put up, certain comments here and there. I mean, I was watching Killer Carl, who's on Rumble. I don't know if you know him or not.
I've seen a couple of his shows. I was thinking about reaching out to him, but I don't know. He might be a little too big fish for me.
No, he's down to earth. I've talked to him quite a bit. He's very helpful to folks that are on the rise up, and he has like 32,000 followers on Rumble.
Yeah.
In his live on Saturday night, he had anywhere from 600 to 800 people in the chat. Now, not all of them were chatting, but they were in there. They were viewing. In other words, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had quite a few chatters too.
I saw his chat was pretty. Oh yeah, it's 32.4 thousand. Good.
But
God.
he's cool. He usually has other folks up. Now sometimes he does shows by himself. I like the start of his show. He listens to some real aggressive music, like Testament or something like that.
I don't like. See, I'd like to. Okay, so I'd like to reach out to podcasters and stuff, like with your show, and promote my stuff a little bit. And it's like I'm not without. It's not like I'm doing it for free. I add a little bit of an entertainment value to their podcast. I'd like to think so, at least.
You do.
Well, I appreciate that. But it's like I'd like to promote my stuff a little more on other podcasts, but I don't like the idea of reaching out to anybody who I don't actually watch myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels deep to like, hey, help me promote my show, but I'm not even going to follow you. Now, I am following Killer Carl, but I don't think I've ever watched any of his streams. So it would just feel disingenuous,
Yeah. If you would, now we do talk about your show quite a bit, but if you have time, it might be cool if you could do like a little promo video and send it to us, and we would air that thing, and that would be you talking about your show, and just do a quick promo. We'd love to run that for you, man.
I would appreciate that very much. I also were you guys the AI engine that you used for those songs?
I meant to send that to you.
No, you did. You sent me the what was
Oh, okay, yeah.
files. So I have the drive files. Were you using Suno?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was using. I was going bonkers on that thing the other day. I made a whole bunch of songs on my own. I think one of them might take over as my new intro song for my.
Ain't it the coolest thing, man? I have so much fun with that.
Sounds so good. I was a simple prompt too. I just said I wanted a gritty, slow blues style song about blacksmithing, and make the rhythm guitar rich, or make it a lot of slide guitar, and it came out so cool. I want to learn the song on guitar so I can play.
Exactly. And you can do so much on the free side of that, so you don't have to pay. They can do so many a day. If you pay, they give you a little bit more richness, they say, and you can do more files. But dude, just the free side, man, I have been able to produce a lot of different things, and some of those are featured in our shows. And it's just cool. It's nice, when you're trying to do all the stuff that you do to get alive and produce a show and all that. That's just a nice help, and that's cool. And so there's no shame in my game, man. I'll use all the AI I want, man. I love it, man. I do a lot of images off AI. It's a give and take. You got to work at it till you get what you want. But I'm working on one right now that's like a medieval type town, and I'm trying to get it to. Already got ogres and stuff walking around the town, and I want to have these shops. And I want to have like a leather shop, and I just want all that in the background, a leather shop, a blacksmith. And then somewhere in the middle of those have the Southern Fried Podcast store,
Oh, that would be cool.
And I'm working on it right now. It's not quite finished, but I'm working on it. And it's just fun as crap. So what I do with a lot of the pictures that I don't use on the podcast, I still use them. I love to take them to TikTok and put music with them and just advertise for the show. And it's fun. And even TikTok's AI will help select songs. Sometimes I take them, sometimes I got my own idea. And it's just another way to connect. It's just another way to be creative. And I love that, man. I love that. I can do that in minutes, man. It don't take long at all.
I have to make pretty soon, as soon as I can anyway. I have to make some sort of loopable video or a series of videos that are kind of like my primary channel, just minus all the humor and memes and talking and stuff. So pretty much like just stock footage of my work throughout all the processes of anything really. And then I need to cap it off with this with a promotional thing. Again, not focusing on sound whatsoever, because it's a 16.9 inch, I think. USB monitor. Comes with its own little stand. It was like $70 or something on the Amazon. This summer, I'm going to be setting up at a local like farmers market type thing, once a week, every week for I think starts in July, ends in August, I think. I want to have that monitor running content from my channel in those loops over and over and over again with those sandwiching those short little like 1 minute audio-less promotional things with the name of the channel, watermark, a couple of subtitles, whatever, just as a promotional thing. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to be doing that anyway. So I might as well come up with something. I mean, hell, it might be the one that's sandwiched in between those that I send you guys.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. That would be awesome. We're all trying to grow. But if I can help anybody along the way, I'd be glad to do it, man. You give and you get back when you give. And I've always I'm an encourager. I try to encourage people. I could up go on, but I really am an encourager, and people have been very kind to me and to us. They didn't have to, and I want to pay it forward and help people. So that's cool, and I just love that. But when we're soon to have our website, dude, and we will definitely link you on that website to your live and all that, so that people can just link off of there. We'll have links to podcasts that we recommend, and you're going to be at the top of that list, man. And we'll just try to drive some traffic your way. Don't know if it'll help, but we'll sure try, man.
Yeah, I got to focus more on promoting my website. I got to focus more on promoting sales of my stuff, because that's where the bulk of the money is, which is where it should be, and that's what funds all of my that's what pays for my gas, that's what pays for my consumables out in the shop, that's what pays for my steel stock. So it's like I don't know why I'm holding myself back from going to. Maybe I just don't want to get over my head, but yeah, I've been trying to I've been trying to get some sales going on with that, because that's the fuel behind this whole operation. I don't know why I'm neglecting it as much as I am.
And if we can ever, if you need like customer, references, or hey, I bought this from Steve, he made me this, I would be glad to do that, man.
Well, yeah, I do have I am on Google, so if you do a Google search, you will find me as a business listed in Google.
Okay.
And I think I opened up my products on my website for review. I'm gonna have to actually, you know what, I can do that right now.
Yeah, I'll be glad to go there and do that. I know those things are important, and it helps with searches and stuff like that. And of course, people read that. I mean, I read them. I mean, I do read people's comments about, if I don't know the person, it wouldn't have affected me with you, but if I didn't know you and I was looking around, I will go down and check out. I don't check the top ones out. I go down and look at the ones that's buried in there, because sometimes the algorithms, like Amazon, they'll move the best ones to the top. I just want to get a good flavor. It wouldn't make me not buy something, but I want to see the bad experiences to it and see if it's legit or if it's just, bad luck, something happened. But yeah, I look at those things.
Okay, I got it. So I just looked. I've got to I got to dig into that. I got myself mixed up. It's the blog entries that I have on there. Those are open to comments. Now they do have to be approved, but you don't need to. You can do them anonymously.
The blog at the store.
The blog on my website, because I have a.
Okay, I'll have to go there and do that.
But yeah, I'll open it up probably later on tonight. I'm going to try to get that done. That way people can leave reviews on my stuff. And I'll leave that. I'll make sure that that's an anonymous thing too. But I will ask that nobody. I do have a lot of friends. They do mean well. I do ask that anybody who has not purchased anything, please don't leave a review. Like, I don't want to cheat the system.
Yeah.
Only people who actually did buy them, in a good faith type thing, and be honest. You don't have to. Don't worry about my feelings.
Well, and so I don't have to cheat. So I keep the stuff close at hand.
Yeah, you got.
I still gotta get it hung up.
I still got to send you that. I got to. I should probably just send you the as a standalone thing. I was gonna throw it into the next order that you have, because I'm sure there's gonna be another one.
Oh, there will be. Oh yeah.
But I cannot believe I sent that thing out without the little. Forgive the terminology.
I don't remember seeing it. I could have lost it, but I don't remember seeing it. But
well, it should have been onto it. It should have been through that top scroll of the triangle. So it should have been looped through there and tied.
Oh, I don't remember seeing that. I would have noticed that.
Yeah, that would.
It's cool. I haven't ordered the leaf that you have on there, and it seems like there's one other thing, because I have the skull, I have this, I have the hooks.
There's a hanger now.
Okay, I don't have that then.
Straight 90-degree hanger that was specifically designed for those triangles.
Okay.
So that one would probably be a big one. You and my friend Sarah, she bought another one of those triangles as well. So she'd probably like those. I wanted to get those both out at the same time, but I mean, I don't even have a jig for that. So that's, that one's all going to be handmade for now.
Cool. Hey, I did want to ask you on your live that you do in the Rumble Studio, and I guess that shoots out to X, but I love the placeholder video you have that has like the fire, the spark. How did you get that, dude? I love that.
Actually, I made that. I made that on Canva.
Okay.
I just typed in a search. I just said sparks or fire or something like that. And I was rolling through the stock footage. And of course, I don't have Canva Premium. I just use the free stuff.
Yeah.
So I was scrolling through there looking for the free stock footage. I also, one of the platforms that I use, or one of the pieces of software is Filmora Wondershare. And a while back, I bought a lifetime seat on there. So it was you could either sign up for like $20 a month or whatever, and they had a special going on. It was like $90. You get a lifetime seat. You don't have to pay another fee for as long as you live. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not? It was my investment into my own business. Let's do it. So I get all these premium features. You get what you pay for. Well, it turns out that Filmora is one of those ones that likes to have a fee for this and a fee for that and a fee for this and a fee fi fo fum. All the way down the line, they try to pick your wallet one time after another.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they had a whole bunch of stock footage that would have been great for that placeholder video, but it was behind a secondary paywall. So aside from having my lifetime seat, I also had to have the lifetime seat plus buy credits for it. Come on, people! Like,
yeah,
they get too greedy. It's like they just want to turn everything into a cash machine. I miss the good old days where you'd buy software and you just had the software.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You buy the disc and that's it. Grandbabies.
Yeah, I went to hand her some candy and I dropped half of it. Please throw those away. Thank you.
No,
You can have the rest.
I'm eating them.
No, you're not. But I love that video. Easy, girls. What are y'all doing over there? You can't break that, but I have a TV I'm fixing to hang up in there. That's the holder for it is laying there, and they bumped the thing and it fell. So if you heard something. But I love that. I don't know. It's something about it. It just sets the tone, man. You couldn't have done that any better for me. I've turned it over there waiting on you to come on. I just turned the sound up. You can have those. I just turned the sound up and listened to it. It's
like sitting next
meditation or something. It's cool. If you take care of your dog and you clean your room.
Night, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, good night, Miss Elizabeth. I didn't think she was still in here.
I didn't either. Poked her head in way at the beginning of the stream and hadn't said anything since.
We're just talking shop, so it's just hanging out. It's like Steve and Dave behind the scenes. We're not. It's like we're picking each other's brains. More me to him than him to me because he's advanced ahead of me for sure, and has done because I really want to get into. I've done a little bit, and when I say a little bit, I mean very little bit of video production, and I'm really venturing that way slowly because we got several other things in the fire right now, no pun intended, but trying to get up to a level where I can just manage everything without being so time consuming, and then really work on stuff like that. So I'm really trying to get into. I mean, if I was talking to this guy the other day, and he said, "Hey, I started watching your podcast." I said, "Which one did you watch?" And he says the very first one. I went, "Oh my gosh!" Ooh. And it reminded me when you were telling me because I said I watched these later shows that you did. I need to go back and check the first ones out. And you went, "Man, you should have went the other way or something." Because like going back, you're gonna see all my mistakes and how I improved it and everything. I still hadn't done that. I still do it. But I know how you feel now because I was like, oh God, our graphics were, not great. We were just winging it, man.
Yeah, I was. So my first video, all it was just dressing up the anvil. That's all it was. It was just taking a wire wheel to the anvil because at that point in time, I had not done anything in my shop for like 6 months. So this was my first video was literally just getting everything video worthy. And it was my anvil was just it has. I mean, it's not like it was pitting. It's not like it was a Civil War battlefield find. It was still solid.
Yeah.
It just had surface rust, but it was just covered in dust and dirt and it had the surface rust. And it's like, this thing is, she ain't pretty enough for the camera yet. She's got to, so I had to wire wheel it. And that's all it was. It was like 5 minutes of work. It turned into I think 2-minute video or 3-minute video or something. And I added a couple of clips of movies and memes and some audio goof around effects, and it wasn't very refined. It was very clunky. I mean, this was before I even had like an intro hammered out, no pun intended. Our the intro song that I have. But that's another thing that, like I was saying before with AI, I'm thinking about finding one to replace the one I have now. Not because it's not that I want to take away from an actual human artist that made the music, but it's like I get tired of worrying so much that either they're going to send me a cease and desist, or I'm going to forget to credit them in the description of the video. Not only that, but the credit for them in the description is a link to YouTube. It's like, I don't want to send eyeballs to YouTube. I hate YouTube. The whole half the point of me doing this exclusively on Rumble is because I want to support Rumble.
Yeah.
So
I know, it's really tough. We've had a couple of videos that have been pulled, maybe 3 or 4 total. One we were warned recently. They didn't do anything, and it was the other night. It was that night we were all on together, and Rob pulled up something. I don't remember what it was. They gave us a warning on that.
Oh, I'm okay. I thought it was going to be my big mouth that got you.
No, it wasn't you. It was Rob pulled up something that was on YouTube, I think. Now, he even went to YouTube and pulled this up, So I saw it as a warning, and then one of the small stream. We don't even stream there. It's just one of the ones that we're on. I think they took down one of my videos for it had a song embedded in it. When I was in Bainbridge, I did a Christmas video. They have a lot of lights down there. It's really pretty. And I'm riding around, and I messed up. And I knew I messed up. And I should have tweaked it, but I didn't. I'm riding around, and I'm playing Christmas music on Sirius XM, and It was great. Oh. But the problem is right as I went to stop the video, it's a song ended, and it went "Merry Christmas" from Sirius XM. Dude, that right there got me. It struck the video on YouTube right there. Boom. Okay. Struck it.
Yeah, not to brag, but I haven't had anything pulled. No warnings, no polling, no.
That's good.
I mean, that's the magic of Rumble, man. They don't nitpick. They don't constantly your knuckles with the ruler. They let you actually create content and entertain people.
Yeah,
leave you alone. It's incredible. I love it.
And for the artist, I mean, you would think that they would want those little bots and stuff to be out there because people are being exposed to their music, little sound bots and whatever. And I don't know. I really wish, this is one thing I wish, and I was thinking this the other day, and I know some people don't like the president, but I really wish he would kind of go into the FCC and kind of look at these archaic rules they have about some of these things. There are some things that could be looked at on the copyright laws and that as well. I just think it's a little bit archaic, a little bit. There's not everything. You got to protect your stuff, but a little bit.
In his first term, he did, and a lot of people forget this, he did refine the copyright. Well, I should say he fortified the copyright laws so that artists all across the board would receive their due payment. They would stop getting yanked around, and it was the biggest refinement of copyright laws in like 50 something years.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
And it was hilarious because most musicians hate him. That's kind of the type.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
bleeding heart artist type. It just fits. So most of them absolutely hate him and always have. And it's incredibly ironic because none of them admit that he has done more for the music industry as far as small artists getting paid for their efforts than anybody else. And so
it's kind of like the Christian that says, if lottery money, if they came and handed me lottery money, would you give it back? And I've heard people say, well, no, I'd spend it because the devil's had it long enough, but I'm not giving him any credit, or so. It's kind of what that reminds me of,
Well, unfortunately, it's kind of that whole move that he did. It was kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul, because at the same time, it helped all of these like musicians and stuff, but it made everything so much more strict for those of us who use small snippets of certain things. And I mean, when I started my channel, the first thing I did was look into fair use laws because I knew I was going to be using a lot of clips of like Disney movies, Marvel movies and stuff, because there's a lot of sound bites that I could use that would add to the humor of the show. And they're no more than 1 second to 3 seconds long. It's not much, but it's enough. And so I looked into the what they call fair use. So it's fair to use, that much because it's such a minute amount. The fair use laws are about as clear as mud, and they always have.
I know. That's what I found out. I did study those.
Yep. The only way to guarantee that you will not go to court for using somebody else's music or imagery or likeness or video or whatever is to just use nothing but your own face and your own voice. Can't use anybody else's music. You have to make your own. You have to draw your own little doodly pictures. That's the only way to guarantee we're all just walking through minefields by doing this.
Yeah, and that's what's great about the AI, because once you've created it, even though the AI is creating maybe a singer or music, but you are creating because you're telling it parameters of what you want. You are creating a style. You're creating something that's unique to you, and it's pretty cool.
The AI is a machine, no different than a keyboard, and so typing into your computer keyboard, make me a song, make me a 10-second jingle that sounds cheerful and is fun on the piano, is no different than a trained musician, because you have to have training to know how to use a computer. It may not be as hard, but it's no different than somebody going to a piano and thinking about it and going ding, 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 and recording it.
Yeah.
Instruments. One just takes considerably less skill.
Yeah.
Well,
and it has invaded every part of our lives anyway. And I know at work, I won't say all, because some people just refuse to utilize tools. But I have a friend, he's a military vet, really smart guy. But he said, Dave, every communication that I send, he goes, listen, I was trained in communications in the military where you had to be very specific. It had to be on point, target, and all that. He said, so I'm pretty good at writing up stuff. In fact, I've followed some of his advice. He's really good. But he said, at this point in my life, he said, I punch everything to ChatGPT, and he said, it will usually make some changes. And he said, you know what? The changes are good. And I use it. He said, I have no problem with that. It's making me better. And so when you use stuff like that, I've used it to, we have our own creativity, but you filter it through some AI, and sometimes it gives you other ideas, and you actually are able to speed up the process a little bit. on some things. So I don't have a better problem with using it, and I feel like I'm creating, something that's unique. And like I said, the biggest thing is to stay away from trouble with the music and everything. So whether it was Jake that made us a song and said we could use it, or other listeners that used that same thing, and then I just said, you know what, let me get in here and learn and have some fun with it, and we've done the same thing. So it's really a blessing for podcasters and people that do something online.
It made it just in time, just when everything got strict legal wise and so risky. AI came to save the day.
I know you got to go. I didn't intend to keep you this long. I just wanted to ask, did you start on something else besides Rumble? Was you already something else with your show and said, listen, I'm switching over? Or did you automatically go to Rumble to begin?
Nope, it started with Rumble. It
Okay.
all, and it was hilarious because it took me so long to finally get started. I mean, that's why my first video was such crap, is because it was like, it has to be something. I have to do something. Otherwise, I'm never going to do it.
Yeah.
So I had to put out a piece of crap to just to get my foot in the door, just to get started. And it started flowing like an avalanche after that. I was doing a video a week. For pretty much all last summer. I really need to make another video for my primary channel soon.
We made our first one on Memorial Day. That's our official anniversary. We were doing stuff before that, getting ready, but really officially online, going live, which we were only allowed to do basically through one thing. And we did it on that day, and I stopped at the National Battlefield, and I'll never forget the feeling of that. It was very short. It wasn't even, I don't think it was 5 minutes, but it was like a start. It was like, okay, here we go. And Dan was trying to crunch ideas on the next video, the next video, the next video. And your brain just starts putting the pieces together. And I don't know about you, dude, but I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes with ideas that are spinning out of my brain. And I was telling them the other night on the show, for some reason, when I'm driving down the road, I think it's because I've just let my brain relax and I'm listening to music, I get all these great ideas that I want to try when I get home from work. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a shower thoughts kind of thing. I have a theory on that. It's like when you driving or well, it's called a shower thought for a reason, showering. Or my big thing is when you're just pushing a broom, when you're sweeping at like work or something.
Yeah.
Or when I'm doing dishes at home. All of those, you're using just enough brain power to where you're running a little faster than your idle speed. So it's you're just getting the RPMs, you're getting some good rhythms up there. But it's not so much demand mentally that it's distracting you. And so your brain is whirring up, it's got the activity going on, everything's firing like crazy compared to just staring at a wall.
Yeah.
But it's not so much to where there's capacity being pulled into the activity that you're doing. And so I think those were their best ideas come from, because you got more juice than just sitting there staring at a wall. Because myself personally, I can just kind of get that 1,000-yard stare and just.
I do too. I hate getting in a spot where I really got to be creative in the moment. These things have to germinate with me, and some ideas are for weeks. I don't even tell Rob. I just have got a thought. Not many, but there are some like that. I still have a couple out there that we've never talked about. And then when I feel like I'm kind of ready to really explain it to him, then I kind of tell him, or not tell him, but I'll ask him, hey, what do you think about this? And we kind of work it out. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got that's right. So I make lists on like a tablet, same kind of thing. I just have to pour them out, and I'll make lists of ideas of things that potential and let them germinate, and then come back to them. And and one day it'll be like, today's the day I've got to make this happen. We're going to pull it all together. But folks, we're not going to keep Steve. He's worked today, and I appreciate him coming on. I do want to pop up your card that we made for you so long ago. It actually come out pretty good. It's all your stuff. I mean, I didn't do anything but just put it on a screen, but I do like that one. And I was telling somebody the other day, I have everything that's in those videos. I have everything. Of course, I didn't get a hammer. I have everything, and of course the candle holder, which you only made a one-off of. These are the videos that you could go on there and watch, and you can see they're like 16, 13, 13, 8, 14.
Play times I'm being that long.
And of course, the story of Half Pine. He has a picture there, the logo that you can see on the sign up there. He had a pine tree that was only got it growing on one side. I think because you said there was a tree next to it. And you stepped out of your shop, I think you said, and he's like, hey, I can't use this other name, but hey, Half Pine. So that's cool. I like that story.
That one actually has more meaning than the previous name anyway. So
yeah. And everything's worked out. Now you have your stamp. Robert thought he had me. He's like, did your work get stamped? And he's showing me and everything. And I pulled up. I think it was it was this one. And I said, Rob, yeah, I got that right there. I said, I think mine might have been the first.
Yours was. That was the
Just,
first.
just killed him. You know, I'm having fun with him. He's like a little kid, like, hey, guess what? And he puts it up in the camera, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got that. And he's like, oh, and I said, oh, by the way, Rob, I think mine was first.
Now Rob's is a little bit special because I did have the option, and my conscience wouldn't let me do it. I had the option of giving him old stock, and because I made his from scratch so they would be stamped, I am now foregoing all of my old stock, and I am restarting from scratch with those because the old ones aren't stamped. So I have about, I think, 15 that were in stock. Those are all gone. They're not gone. I still have them, but they're already clear coated. So unless I find a good way to strip the paint, reheat them, stamp them, wire wheel them all down to their patina again, and then respray them down with clear coat, that's a lot of work just to put a stamp on it.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know. Those might end up in like a discount basket or something, just so I could make a little bit of the money back that I invested into them. But I am currently at, they're not finished yet, but I have a big old pile going on of half finished ones. They're all good. I'm up to, I think, 24 now of the J hooks that are stamped.
Okay.
Like I said, I still have to finish them, but the bulk of the hard work is already done on them. So and I found out a 10-foot length of steel can do 24. I can get 24 out of it, and I split it in half, and I do both of them at the same time. So I take one out of this and one out of this, one out of this one, and one out of this, and I just keep rotating them so that I'm constantly hammering something out to maximize my productivity.
Yeah.
And those I was killing myself over those, but I have to double time it if I want to make it in time for this this farmers market thing. And I was thinking about doing a live stream from there, maybe once or twice or something, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think I can do it through my phone with my phone's camera. So it won't be the best quality, but it'll be, something fun.
Yeah, on location. So, well, cool, man. Hey, thanks for coming on tonight. I just enjoyed talking to you. Had a little fun. Talk a little shop. Thanks for the listeners that have stayed in here. We've had quite a few that have sit and listened to us talk, and we appreciate you. And please go over and give Steve at Half Pine Forge on X and Rumble a follow and link up to his store. And he's a cool dude. And I don't know if that's actually that sounds like 80s talk, cool dude, but I like it. I'm an old guy. And Steve, appreciate you, man. You have a good night. I know you probably be tired working now. We'll catch up with you soon, man. If you go live Friday night, we'll try to catch as much up as we can. And I'm still going to go back and watch I need to go back and watch the very first video of Steve. I need to do that. since you talked about. I need to go back and look at that. I may do that tonight.
It's nothing special, but I do leave it up because why not? You know,
it shows the story, man. It shows the story
of it. It's absolutely terrible dollar store tier video, but it was my first one. I have an excuse.
Yeah,
I do.
There you go. You're learning as you go. So he's a talented guy. He's humble, but he's very talented. He's also very funny, and always making me laugh. So appreciate you, man. Hey, have a good night to our listeners. I may be back on tonight. I'm gonna take a little break. I think I'm gonna do a late night. I got a new background I want to put up, and may do that. But in the morning, me and Rob on the morning show. Then tomorrow night, Hunt Day News. And we're right back into it. Cornbread Nation show on Thursday night, Friday shows, morning and evening, the front porch, end of the weekend programs. And we're now active live with Patriot Mobile, promo code Cornbread. It's active. I verified with them today. And so we don't even have our landing page yet. But if you use that Cornbread, you'll help us and you'll help yourself save money. We're really excited about this. These are great people. I've been in communication. The second thing, my granddaughter accidentally hit the phone. The second thing that I wanted to say was we have a guy who's going to be running against John Cornyn in Texas. We've been in communication with his communications guy, and we've got that set up for April 25th, I believe that is. He'll be live with us, so check it out. We'll have much more about this in the days ahead, and we appreciate all of our listeners, and thanks for everybody that follows Steve, and he's been kind enough to help us along, give us some ideas, and we appreciate you. Hey, Lewis, sorry we're leaving, but if you're in later, man, I'll be back on. So, Lewis, you come back, and Steve,
he'll be alone.
You take care. You take care, brother. You're always welcome. If you ever want to come up and just mess with us, man, just tell us. We'll send you a link, man. You got an open invitation. You don't need to invite, man. You just come on.
One of these afternoons, if I'm banging away in the shop or something, I'll set up my phone.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, we're going to run some music, get out here, let Steve go, and we'll see you soon. Let me get the song up, and I'm going to play something a little heavier. I think Steve said he likes this song. I'm going to play it going out. See y'all.